England, and I had to make sure the chemical analysis was according to specifications, and that the armor plate wasn't like butter. It had to be the way it was ordered. So that was my job. I was dealing with professional metallurgists, guys who were working full-time after their graduation in the steel mills. And I had to act like I knew a hell of a lot more than I really did know. To let them think that I could verify whether things were right or they weren't. Anyway, that's what I worked on. And I went to night school taking typing and shorthand, not to learn typing and shorthand as much. I was only about 22 years old, and I was lonely as hell over in Pittsburgh, and I knew nobody. So I went to night school to try to meet some younger people. And one evening, the class was there were a lot of people vacant, and the instructor said, kindly, the people at the back, kindly fill up the empty seats up at the front. And what happened, there was an empty seat in the aisle next to me, but one seat forward. And a lovely young lady came walking down the aisle and sat in that seat. But she was quite tall, and anyway, the seats were made for, we were in our 20s. Everybody was working at something in the daytime and going to school at night. And so they were bigger than ordinary school kids. So this girl, she had to put her legs out into the aisle, and she crossed her legs, and I was quite attracted. She was a lovely looking young lady, and I thought, how the hell am I going to get to know her? So anyway, when the instructor would say, when somebody had put up their hand to answer a question, he would say, Mr. This or Miss That. And I kept watching her. She put up her hand occasionally, but he never asked her that evening, or I would have heard her name. So anyway, I was figuring, how the hell can I get to know her? So I walked out of the class quick when it was over, went down the hall about 50 feet where there was a drinking fountain, and it was on the other side of the hall, and I bent down and was drinking, but watching the door to see if she came down the way I was. And that's what happened. She came out and started walking down the wall on the other side of the hall. And I just walked right over and kind of cut her off. Like I walked right toward where she was coming down, and I said to her, I said, I'm from Canada. I said, what is your name? And she took her shorthand book and turned it over, and she wrote capital D-A-L-E, Dale. So anyway, I said to her, I'm from Canada, I'm lonely. I said, would you like to go and have a coffee or, something at a restaurant close by? So she accepted.